Here's how I capture and save a 2.5 hour long Apple podcast from my desk. So I've been listening to this podcast this afternoon while I've been working, and there's been some really interesting things that have been said, particularly with response to my ADHD and procrastination. I'm going to go ahead and click my Recall browser extension. Funnily enough, Recall has identified this as relevant to my ADHD tag, and it's gone ahead and tagged this podcast. So now when I look for it later, I know exactly where it can be found. Recall has also given me this beautiful, concise summary. I see it's a little bit long for me to read for this video, so perhaps later when I take my dog for a walk, I'll be able to listen back to it. Let's just have a quick peek at how this sounds. When it comes to text-to-speech, you can either use one of Recall's built-in voices, or you can custom record one of your own, such as a friend, a loved one, a partner, whatever it might be. I think I have mine set to a built-in voice. Let's have a look.
Introduction to Self-Control and the Marshmallow Experiment. Dr. Kentaro Fujita's research shows that thinking about the whys behind decisions can help people overcome temptation and make better choices.
This is going to be a fascinating listen when I'm on my walk later. I'd also just like to point out that when it comes to saving a podcast into your Recall app, Recall actually saves the entire transcript. So you're not just having access to Recall summaries or notes, you're getting the entire transcript available on Apple or Spotify. We can also see where this podcast connects across my knowledge base. We can see I've got 22 connections of Andrew Huberman, so it might be safe to say that I'm a fan. I would like to understand a little bit more about this, so I am going to head to my Recall chat and ask, how can I overcome procrastination? It has given me a great answer. I actually want to save this answer, so I'm going to keep it into my notebook, save, and then open in my notebook. And the thing that has stood out to me here are the practical strategies, and I can see a few steps. I'm going to go ahead and create a note for me to go back into this a little bit later. And I want this to be a to-do list. So here we go. I'm going to click to do, and I'm going to say, so I've kept a note here for me to say, understand these practical steps and implement them according to my personal journal. So this might seem a little bit personal, but I'm actually going to take this a step further and ask Recall. I'm going to go ahead and ask, please look at the practical strategies suggested by Dr. Fujita and suggest how they could work with my personal journal. Okay, we've got an answer. I don't want to give too much detail into what it's suggesting, but it's saying that my journal already follows Dr. Fujita's model, which is exciting to see. I would like to open this up in my knowledge base. I just want to show you that everything that you do in the extension is automatically saved and synced to your Recall app. So let's see how that looks in practice. I'm going to select open, and right here we can see the card has been saved successfully in my ADHD tag. It saved the initial source as well as the transcript, my chat history, and then of course these awesome connections that we saw earlier. Just a quick note, back into the notebook, it's even saved the notes that I've left for myself to understand a little bit later on. Okay, here's how I've taken a 2.5 hour podcast and turned it into a couple of minutes of learning with Recall.